Welcome back. I listen. Despite feeling, look, a little under the weather, once again, man has to push through, innit? It's what it is. But shout out to everyone. Shout out to returning subscribers. Shout out to the new subscribers. If you haven't subscribed, hit the subscribe button, turn on your post notifications so when new content like this is uploaded or when I go live, you'll be able to watch there and then. All right. So let's not get into this delay. You already know. You already see the title. So yeah, I obviously have to react to things like this. It's heartbreaking to really see things like this, but I have to say I have to give my 2 cents, or 2 cents, 2 pence, or whatever you want to call it. I have to give my say on it, or whatever the case may be. But anyway, give me a second. But yeah, let's go. Let's just get straight into it. Shout out to Bounce for this stuff, for real, for using his platform to be able to speak on such situations. But yeah, man, let's go. Let's see what Banter has to say in regards to, because you know what? In fact, I won't even get into it. I'll just get straight into it.
Here with Woo, train smarter, sleep deeper, recover faster, and stay charged for 14 plus days.
How about stay charged for life?
Hey, my people, listen. This one's a serious one still. Like, I can't lie, I am literally overwhelmed by the amount of victims has come forward. Now look, Pastor Tobi, SPAC Nation, we're going to get into this, and we're going to get into this properly. And you see, with a video, there's not one video that can justify how much victims. And when I talk about victims, I talk about SA. I talk about grape. I talk about fraud.
This is a lot. This is a lot. Because when I first heard about SPAC Nation, and then they were talking about getting people off the road, people from the road. You know what? That's what I first found out about. And then people were saying what they were saying. I'm like, I can't speak on people's experiences in it. Do you know what I mean? The older I get, the more I start to realize no matter what happens in life, you can never really understand what someone goes through and what they experience. You see what I'm trying to say? You can never do that. You can try and sympathize or empathize or whatever the case may be, but yeah, man, let's just keep it moving, man. Shout out to Bouncer for this, for real. Shout out to everyone watching. Get me? This is a serious topic. I want to talk about solutions as well. That's the other thing. That's the one thing I'm more concerned about as well, is solutions going forward. Let's go.
I talk about grooming. I talk about bullying. I talk about bottom of the barrel, and it makes me sick to my stomach how black people deal with black people. And what makes it even worse, we look around us, we look what's going on in Nigeria, and we look what's going on, bro. It's crazy what's going on in the UK.
It's crazy.
The BBC Panorama documentaries. And this is why it's time, yeah. Before I start, this is why it's time. This is your chance to every single SPAC Nation victim. This is your chance to stand up and tell your story. Okay, guess what? I'm the fool guy for you lot. I'm going to be the fool guy. See, these people, they're very powerful. So when I do these videos, I'm going to...
Let's hold that thought for a moment. Here's the thing about life, yeah. Power is a perceived notion. So you may perceive someone has power because of X, Y, Z, or you may perceive that someone doesn't have power because of X, Y, Z, or you perceive them having power because of the things they have done in the past and the connections they may have or do have. Do you see what I'm going to say? That doesn't necessarily make them powerful or power. And listen, we're talking like SPAC Nation is supposed to be a church, so let's just keep it all the way back, yeah? The only real situation, God is the only one that has the true power. I'm going to repeat that one more time. God is the only one that has the true power. Please remember this, yeah? Because when you have that strong faith in God, it doesn't matter the amount of connections that an individual or a group of individuals may have. Because nothing ain't no powerful than God. Nothing. You understand? Let's go.
I say alleged. I don't live in the UK. They can put out whatever lawsuit they want against me. And I'm willing to go to prison for a couple of years just for justice of you people. And
wait.
what I realized...
Don't do that. There's a way. Like, because if you're speaking on something, it doesn't mean that you end up going to prison for something. That doesn't make no sense. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, unless you say something against them where it's defamation of character, which they're gonna have to prove in the courts, that lead you to go on the job, but more times that's more of a civil dispute than a criminal dispute. I could be wrong, by the way, but let me know in the comments below. But anyway,
there's not much awareness for the younger generation, for the 11-year-olds, for the 12-year-olds, for the 13-year-olds. They don't know better. So when they hear these oppressors, and when I say oppressors, I'm gonna
listen to this. That's not by accident. That's God. You're hearing sirens. Now, I don't know if that's ambulance sirens or police sirens. Do you understand? But it's still a siren. And look what we're talking about. So when I say God is the most powerful, that's exactly what I mean. Let's go.
Play videos. I'm going to show receipts. I'm going to break things down. But like I said...
By the way, and just to add on to that, in regards to God being the most powerful, this is a situation where I was meant to react to this yesterday on the 24th of November. So if you're watching this days after, it is what it is. I just end up having to react on the 25th. Now, was I going to hear police sirens when I'm live streaming on the 24th? I don't know. I really don't know. Furthermore, was I going to mention that God is the most powerful and most... Maybe not. I don't know. The timing is... Nothing can beat God's timing. God's timing is the best timing. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
Not one video, I can do everything. So you're going to see multiple videos. You're going to see hundreds of videos
I'll be here to
within the next year. And they're going to try their best to... But everything is public information. And when I say allegedly, that's a word of to cover yourself, period. And just to let you lot know, just so SPAC Nation ex-gang members know, I'm one of you lot, bro. I'm an ex-gang member as well. I used to slap off my gun as well. I've been through it. So I'm letting you lot know, I don't give a... Bro, do you know what I'm trying to say? So you lot know. If you do your homework, come man, yeah. But the individuals, now, when I start, I'm not saying that every single person at SPAC Nation is evil or anything. I'm going to highlight these key people of interest. And I'm going to show you, and you're going to demonstrate to the younger generation. I want everyone to watch this in our community, black community. Yeah? These people, they're not the people of God. And I'm not going to get religion into it.
I like how he's mentioning that. They're not people of God. It's as simple as that. And I know it doesn't... I know it sounds simple. And I know sometimes the simple things is straightforward. It is what it is. Because if you're a person of God, would you react? Would you be doing this? Or if it is within your remit, your whole situation, and there's things you feel you can do to put an end to that, to nip that in the bud and be like, nope, this shouldn't be tolerated, and that there's gonna be consequences to this. Do you know what I mean? Like earthly consequences, not just divine consequences or spiritual consequences, earthly consequences. But anyway, let's keep it moving.
I'm a Muslim. I'm not going to get religion into this. I was not taught a way to disrespect any religion. Are you with me? So there's actually people here that are part of SPAC Nation that have good intention, and there's the small minority of people that have authority that are doing things in the wrong way in terms of sleeping with underage women.
Chai.
Women pushing.
Okay.
Women have abortions.
Damn.
And everything that I say, I back it up with proof. So when I say things and cover them, I will back it up with proof. And the people that I've spoke to, a lot of them, I've got men coming forward to me talking about sexual acts with another man.
Oh, damn, man. Let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving. Let's go.
So understand that they've trusted me with that. Understand most of the stuff I've cropped everyone's names out of it because of what's going on. And look, the victims that I've spoken to is so deep. Like I feel it for them. So this is not even anything for clickbait or you got 24 hours, or it's actually to safeguard and reset in our community. Our community.
That's what it should really be about. Because I was saying it before, the reset can't just be within the music industry. It can't just be within the entertainment industry, especially in the UK. It can't be. There's so much unfortunate situations that go on worldwide, and we need a genuine reset. And I do believe a reset is coming. Like a genuine, like it's taking its time. It's like, for example, Kendrick Lamar released "Watch the Party" Pie, not pie as in PIE, but you know, if you know, you know. I can't say that word on here. Other people can, but me, I can't. So, and what was that about? If you listen to the song, what is that song about? It literally is about a reset. I don't think you understand. Like that song, that he didn't even fully release that song. It's genuinely about a reset. That's how he feels. And then after what I saw about yesterday on Twitter, or some call it X now. Anyway, I won't even go into that. That's for another day, another subject. So hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notifications, so when I go live or react to that content, you'll be able to be notified and you can watch there and then. But let's keep it moving.
Community starts. London community starts. The UK starts before everywhere else. I'm sorry. And if there's no one not speaking up, and a lot of you lot like, oh yeah, there's so many people that's spoken and nothing's been done. Well, I promise you, with everything, I'm willing to go to prison. And when I say I'm willing to go to prison, I'm willing. Listen, I spent 10 years of my life in prison for criminal activities. I changed my life around. So you see, civil matters. I don't own no businesses in the UK. I don't own nothing. So I don't mind going to prison for 6 months or a year for the greater good for you guys.
Hold on. I want to see something real quick. Can you go to prison? Hold on. Hold on. Can you go to jail in a civil case in the UK? No, you cannot go to jail for failing to comply with judgment in a UK civil case, as this would be a criminal matter. However, you can face imprisonment if you were found in contempt of court, failing to obey a specific order within a civil case, such as freezing order or an injunction. All right, so basically, yeah, just to get a roundup, I should really share the screen, but I'm scared about the order not being shared because I've done that before, and for some reason the order is not there. So, civil versus criminal. Civil cases are about private disputes between individuals or organizations, and the typical outcome is a financial penalty like damages rather than punishment like a prison sentence. Criminal cases are brought by the state for crimes such as theft, assault, and can result in imprisonments, fines, or other punishments. So, when imprisonment is possible in a civil case, failing to comply with a court order, a judge issues orders like an injunction to stop certain behavior or a freezing order on assets, contempt of court. If you deliberately ignore a court order, which is considered a contempt of court, which can lead to prison sentence of up to 2 years, a fine, or both. Other examples, a judge can also impose a prison sentence if sentenced for failing to comply with a general civil restraint order. So in this particular case, if they were to file a civil suit, there's literally, I wouldn't say zero chance, but it depending on you see what you know what I just read out. He's highly unlikely going to go to jail. Highly unlikely. But if it was for a criminal matter, again, I won't even say whether it's likely or not. They will have to prove in a trial that he committed a crime. That's what they would have to prove. So anyway, let's go.
Is to come out and tell your truth. So please, yeah, just make sure you back me, because I know the sort of messages that I'm receiving, people are actually scared. Now, I'm gonna flip my screen. Pastor Tobi, my brother, I ain't even really gonna go at you, because that's what happens is everyone, they go at the big man. I'm gonna go through your infrastructure. I'm gonna pick out your infrastructure. And in this video, I know some of you lot might think that you've been let scot-free. Don't worry, there's many videos coming. But I'm not ever gonna start with you, because that's where people go wrong. And Pastor Tobi, I know what you're doing, bro. You link up with the M24s, the Digger D looked very uncomfortable. You linked up with key people of influence just to show your influence. And the key people of influence, you lot need to know your value and know your worth and know what's actually going on. Because if this happened to your little sister, you wouldn't be attending no parties, respectfully. Facts. M24, Digger D's, or I'm not saying you attended the party, but I'm just letting you lot know. And many more. Just say it how it is. Now, BBC, this is what got played. Let's play it.
Black Nation was a film that I got involved in for BBC a few years ago now, and we were getting reports of young people that were being forced to get out loans, forced to go to blood donation clinics and sell their blood for money to give to the church. So we started to look into it, and what I was finding was all these young people popping up that had traumatizing stories of debt collectors turning up at their house, businesses that had been set up in their names and left with tens of thousands of pounds worth of debt. And all they'd done was wanted a safe space and were trying to find God.
Wanted to find a safe place and to find God. I ain't about to say, man. Let's keep it moving.
See everything that he said. Everything's true. And this is what is crazy to me. Everyone that I've spoken to, some people that I'm speaking to has lost their house. I'm not even adding this lady in the segment because this lady that I'm speaking to is my friend that lives here's cousin's auntie. I'm speaking direct to, who's lost their house through lost their house through. So I'm not even gonna go into that. That one's the next segment. Because you see, after I make these videos, More and more people are going to come out. And I urge my content creators, the Tankses, the Huncho Houses, everyone, I urge you lot, yeah. Clue, my brother. Me and you have gone back and forth now. This is for the great of good.
For real. I
urge you lot to look at everything and do videos to spread awareness for the younger generation so they're aware of when people attach them now. We're going to go into businesses.
But this is why I said I want to end up thinking about solutions or presenting solutions. Yeah, so we will continue to watch, we'll continue to react, because awareness is one thing, but if they're vulnerable people, right, or vulnerable young adults or vulnerable adolescents or whatever the case may be, right, naturally what happens is they need guidance. Yeah, that's what they need. They need guidance. Awareness is not enough. And I'm just speaking from a perspective of, I'm just trying to imagine what would it have been like for me. Let me use myself as an example, like, right? So imagine someone coming out of, or in a leaving care system, in the care system, right? They're most likely, I'm not saying all or most, I'm just saying some are likely to be vulnerable. Yeah. Low on income, depending on whatever the situation is, they have, by the time they're 18, they have to live by themselves or whatever the case may be. If not, it doesn't necessarily have to be that way, but I'm talking about some circumstances there. So now imagine they need income, this, that, and the third. The question becomes, even if you tell them, even if you say you told them this information is out there, that if you do this, you will be in debt. They're not, some of them will not, they will listen, and I'm not saying that they will not listen. They will listen, but they won't take heed. And what I mean by that is they're not going to necessarily take action because they're living in the moment. When you think about it, when you get to a certain age, that's when it's hard to say, I can't speak for everyone, and you can speak for yourself and you can leave it in the comments below. Correct me if I'm wrong. When you get to a certain age, that's when you start to realize and peep game about life. That's when you start to understand that, oh, wait, there is consequences. If you take this action, the reaction or the consequences of that will be this. And sometimes some people never actually see the consequences of their actions, yeah, to a much, much later date, whether it be positive actions or negative actions. It's hard, it's mad to think of it that way, but unfortunately, that's how life is sometimes. Yeah. So I want to say that to say, at the end of the day, they need guidance, like genuine guidance. And my thing is, we're still going to continue, but while I've got this solution in mind for now, I think as much as it's about giving them the awareness, it's understanding what do they want to achieve in life. Once you understand what they want to achieve in life, then you just show them the path of how to achieve it. Or not even to show them the path, but be like, look, this, help them step by step. Do you understand? And they will follow through, especially because it's their passion. They want something they want to do. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, let's keep it moving.
How people get lured into SPAC Nation, free brunches, etc., etc., etc. We're going to play videos. But the main thing is, for me, one, we got pastors that's been arrested for mashing up a gal a couple of weeks ago. We're going to read that. And I've actually spoken and got more insights. But it's a police matter. But I'm going to make people aware of it so you lot know. So when you go to church tomorrow, you can look at these people in the eye, you know, everything.
That's how you know he reacted. He did this on a Saturday, 12 p.m. or around 12 noon. That's how I know. But anyway, it's fine. Let's keep it moving.
I'm saying, from the heart. You don't have to believe me. It's from the heart. You will see slowly. But anyway, let's get into this. Now, Lils, for me to make a video, I made a video about Pastors Tobi and about the gang side of things. And I thought, wow, yeah, boom. There's people come off the streets. I didn't look at the women's side of things. I just thought, let me make a positive video. These people coming off the streets. There's nothing can't be that mad. Like, cool. Like, he's driving mad cars and whatnot, but cool. I'm not really too into the finances. I don't care. But when I started hearing women, it started ringing alarm bells. So this is what Lils had to say. This is what she had to say.
Hi guys, I can't lie. I'm mad disappointed by the number of big adults that continue to share SPAC Nation content in 2025. All the information about that church is out there. You've seen the documentaries, you've seen the interviews, you've seen the news articles, but you don't care. You don't care that in 2022, 13 and 14-year-old girls were coming out on TikTok exposing SPAC Nation for trying to lure them to brunches, trying to lure them to trap houses. That weren't enough for you. Cool. You've had young girls come out and say that they have been sexually assaulted from that church, and the church has admitted.
The church has admitted what?
To knowing about it, not.
They admitted to knowing about it. What did they do about it as well? That's the next question.
Enough for you. You've got young boys that join that church and have been groomed. When they become of age, they're preyed on by the male pastors. Not enough for you. You've had young adults come out.
Anyway, let's keep it moving, man.
Out and say that they have been financially abused by SPAC Nation and placed into debt. Not enough for you. You've had members of the church come out and threaten violence on people that stand against them, including myself. Not enough for you. I just want to understand, guys, if...
And here's my thing. Everything she said, I'm going to put together some facts. I'm going to put together some proof, and I've got deep dives into it.
Bear with me, people. This is a lot. When I say this is a lot, this is a lot. I didn't even want to pause as much, but it looks like one of them ones we're going to have to pause as much. Do you understand? Do you understand? It's a mad situation. Let's keep it moving. Let's go.
So to make this like flow the way how it needs to flow, I can't delve into one subject for too long. I will just do deep dives, and I have proof, and I have actual victims that's ready to come out and tell their story, because the government, the BBC, no one's not doing anything. So we have to safeguard our community. You believe that now, yeah? So anyway, let's get back into it.
Children isn't where you draw the line. Just tell me what is. Well,
if children isn't where you draw the line, what is? And this is the thing. It's like, who is the one when it comes to... I'm trying to think of the right words to use here. Like, who is... Let's just keep it moving, because I can't even think right now. Let's go.
tell me what it's going to take for you, man, to be like, nah, do you know what? I'm not gonna boost these man's content. You're not even smart enough to pre-determine.
Okay, I get the perspective she's coming from now. She's more or less saying, these bloggers or whatever you want to call them, giving the attention to these platforms. And it's ironic because I always usually see their content when I'm on Instagram. I usually see their content via the shade bar. That's 9 out of 10 times. That's where I see their content regarding SPAC Nation or Pastor or Tobi. I don't want to call him Pastor Tobi. Do you know what I mean? Because it got to a point where I'm like, well, he's just a youth leader, isn't it? Do you know what I'm saying? Let's put him that. But then obviously, he's not necessarily a youth leader, is he? Do you understand? So it's just one of those ones where I'm like, listen,
Trying that anytime something is happening behind the scenes or if something's about to come out in the news, these men do a publicity stunt to distract you. You're not even smart enough to pre that twang. But what
I want people to understand. You see, when I talk raw, I just talk raw. I just let you lot know how it is. See, when I send a message to the ex-gang members and say, look, I'm one of you lot. I'm not one of you lot no more, but we've been through that world. So it's not a problem. I've got young G's. My young G's, my younger generation, I inspire them to be, you know, successful and teach them the way. I don't groom them. I don't do any of that. So I want you lot to understand. So when you hear me speaking raw, I just speak raw. Now, it's just important that you understand this and we get into this.
you think makes sense is sharing these man's content, boosting, laughing and joking because clearly something is funny about this man being in the club. Like, can you guys be for real? It's high time we realise that we are the adults, we are the big adults that are supposed to be protecting these children, but we fail them every single time. Every single time. And we expect so much more from these kids, more than what we're actually displaying in our own lives. It's insane.
Hang on. 40 minutes. Just hang on for a minute. You see, so here's the thing here. There's two things I'm thinking, because what she's speaking is facts. But at the same time, and I'm saying this at the same time, you're supposed to be safeguarding children and young. Do you know what I mean? But naturally, and I'm just going to say this naturally, and there's no excuses, but then when they see content from, I don't know, let me think. When they see these type of content, yeah, just as a prime example, right, from the Shade Borough, like, what are they thinking? Or at what age are they seeing it? Or where are they knowing and finding out about SPAC Nation to the point where they get groomed into or lured into these situations? This is the key thing we need to understand, because then we will know how to really prevent things like this going forward, not just in regards to SPAC Nation, but regards to any organization going forward. Do you know what I mean? And I don't want to call them organization out. They're disorganization because they're a mess. And it's time to clean up. Let's go.
Saying to me, do you know what frustrates me? Yeah, I've been fighting these man years, 6 strong years. But every time you boost their content and you give them the attention that they're looking for, give them recognition, like visibility, you make it so much harder for us to get justice for the people that have been wronged by them. And you're also spreading their reach. So just tell me what it's going to take to stop you guys from being complicit.
And here's my thing. It's not that. It's just when people make attempts and you saying that they do PR stunts, they're not going to be able to do the PR stunts of the amount of videos that I put out every single day.
Good.
They're not going to be able to do PR stunts.
Time for that.
And this is awareness. This is awareness. This is awareness. And Lil's, she owns her own charity and she works with kids from my area. So you see what she's saying? She's saying that she's been back.
I'm glad that she started her own charity and she's doing that thing, because initially we see what my thing, what I was supposed to do, it was supposed to be a charity. Started out that way. The support I got was not as great as I thought it was going to get. Is what it is. And now we're here. Do you know what I'm saying? Well, this is for the other channel that I could be on trust I'm talking about. Do you understand? So I credit and I commend anyone that creates a charity or a platform that really is championing and supporting young people to do better. And do you know what I mean? Like, I don't know too much about her platform, I don't know too much, but you know, all I'm saying is credit to her for real, for real.
Battling these people for the past 8 years. Do you know why? Because she has received direct messages from the younger generation, the little girls. And not only that, first things first, she's got consent for all their parents to speak to them, for them to speak to them. So this is so important. So when I play these things and we go through these things, is important that we go through it and you can read what's going on. There's quite a lot. So guys, please,
yeah, I won't try and pause
just
this
bear
one.
with me.
A lot.
You know what I mean? Bear with me. There's so much stuff that's happening. Just bear with me. Find the right stuff. Okay, cool. This is one of them, yeah? 2022 May. Obviously, I blocked out the names, guys. You can't be, get me. These are, we have to safeguard women. We have to safeguard women. But I promise you, you take my phone, you examine my phone or whatever, they're all legitimate messages. There's no fake to it. And I'm willing to give my phone, just so you lot know. But by the way, guys, I have no hidden agenda. I have no hidden agenda. Do you know what I mean? I'm good. I have a swimming pool. I'm good. Do you know what I mean?
What's having a swimming pool got to do with it? Let's go.
I mean, there's no hidden agenda. There's literally a reset in our community, and we need to safeguard women. Men, cool, whatever. Women first, and black women as well. Like that is like first. Letting you lot know, women as a whole, but black women. But anyway, this lady said, well, this little sis said, hey, I was misled by SPAC Nation and lured. I was allegedly misled by SPAC Nation and lured into a brunch. I am also still in the group chat, and I am 13. I saw your tweet, and I was wondering.
They're 13. Like I said, how did they get lured? How did they get misled? We need to find out how they got there in the first place. This is the key thing. Yeah, how. Once you understand that, we can find proper solutions. Let's go.
If I could share my personal insight. Hey, sweets, this is what Lid said, yeah? I really hope you're okay. Are your parents aware you're messaging me? Of course, this is what you have to say. Mm-hmm. And have you spoken to them about your experience? I'm asking because as a 13-year-old, I need parental consent to speak to you properly. Yes, I told my mom I'm talking to the people who know about the situation. She even told me that the whole concept of a grown adult wanted to brunch with 13, 16-year-olds was crazy. When we confronted about her grooming ways, she dismissed us and told us that we're doing was harassment. So basically, 13 and 16-year-olds are getting invited to SPAC Nation brunches, and that's how they're getting pushed through. Now I'm going to explain everything. SPAC Nation, they have multiple mansions. In rooms, there are multiple bunk beds.
How do they have all... Anyway, let's keep moving. No pausing.
They have clothes that they share together for the litness. And madness happen in them houses. Allegedly, let's say, it's not get a defamation of character. Anyway, that's come for another one. I think this is the same thing. And it says, boom, where was this? This is the place at the palace. So there's some information of what was going on. You get me? And it gives a location of where the brunch was. Guys, hold on, because I want to get through the little girls, and I'm gonna get through the essay, then etc. The scamming, that's like wow, but this here is like this is a concern. And let me tell you what,
they're all concerns. Every single last one of it is all concerns. They're all concerns. Let's go.
Concern is when I'm speaking to I need to screenshot one of the things. When I spoke to a brother, he said my sister and brother is at SPAC Nation. He said they've ran off. They don't come to the house. They don't go to my mum's birthday. They're there. They don't come back. Like, it's very deep for us. I gave my brother £5,000 and I knew that they took it. And then my brother made an excuse saying that the account got frozen. Listen, anyway, let me just not speak. Let me just...
I need to know what the hell is going on, man. Let's keep it moving. Let's find out.
Just get into these key things because it's very important. This is another lady. This is another sis. Hey, I saw one of your posts about SPAC and the TikTok I made. You retweeted. Thank you so much for getting out our story out there. And Saturday, looking back on it, was truly traumatic, knowing that the intentions behind it. If I knew, undoubtedly would have never went. But I really do appreciate you pushing it out there. Many young voices, including myself. He said, Angel, no need to thank me. I'm so glad you're speaking out and that you clocked something wasn't right. Thank you. I was definitely hard, but it needs to be done. The tweet you made about exams in 6 days is really getting to me because I hate being part of this at the time of the year. Anyway, I want you to understand there's many of these. I don't even want to go crazy into what's going on. I don't want to go crazy into the messages, but there's many messages with proof, with consent. This is one of them. Let me mute this song just so I don't get no copyright. But this is with one of the videos that was on TikTok as well. So it's like going to SPAC Nation.
This is a lot. It's a lot to take in. Let's go.
You being scammed by SPAC Nation. Instead, random guys will treat you better than your man. And it's just showing basically what's happening is they're getting pushed in Telegram group chats. Now, anyone that knows about Telegram group chats, they're the darkest group chat. That's like the black web, respectfully. Telegram group chats is like the black web. But let's get into some other stuff. Let's just flip the screen so we can introduce a few of the members. You get me? Obviously, this was SPAC Nation's entourage. You get me? You got a few of them. You got, is it CK, SK? Is this Nikki, I think? You get me? Is this Sam?
Need to figure out something here. How the hell did they start and get so big? Pause. No diddy. You understand? I'm just trying to figure that out. And then despite all the allegations made against them, knowing that people have spoken with facts and receipts, allegedly, some people have still joined they've joined the church, or or what did they do to lure them into? I don't know. This is confusing. Let's go.
You know, like I'm kind of getting familiar of who these people are. You get me? So anyway, that was SPAC Nation's thing, and let me introduce this one here. Now, do I call her a witch, a devil, or
Damn.
I don't know. What do I call this one? A flipping. I don't know. Do I call her bottom of the barrel? This is what you call the devil herself. Now, she comes in all shapes and sizes. Now, I'm going to play some case studies of a lady losing £8,000, $8,000. They almost cleared her out for $250,000 in America. But I want to.
$250,000 in America. Hold on. Wait. That works out to be roughly 189,027 pounds in Great British sterling or British sterling or GBP, whatever you want to call it. That's still a lot of money.
Play who this lady is so you can kind of understand the sort of caliber of woman who she is and what grooming looks like, what alleged grooming looks like, just so you understand. And younger generation, I want you to watch this so you understand the way how people speak. Remember, these people are not your mum. They're not nothing. And they do everything in the name of the Lord or the name of Jesus or the name of, you get it? So they justify that it's righteous. I want you to understand that, yeah? They justify that it's righteous. And this is the same lady. So we can get into it. And her name is, Mariam? My reading's not great. I'm dyslexic, guys, so just bear with me. But this is who she is.
Living in a house with me. I just need disciples, 10 or 12, with me who understand call and assignment. They understand that they don't have their own life. These things sound very cruel.
They are cruel.
They
are cruel. How about that? These things sound very cruel. No, because that's because you know deep down inside of you that's cruel. You know it's cruel. I just don't understand how some people can do these things and feel like they can get away with it. And even if they get away with it for so long, I don't get how they think. I don't know how to explain it. How do you think you can get away with such things? Knowing that if you genuinely believe in God, you know judgment day is coming for you. Anyway, let's keep moving.
Church. I don't need 50 or 500 girls that have their own mind, that know what to do with their own salary. No, I'm looking at a kind of woman that is going to produce finances. I said to my girls this morning, I don't know what you think is happening in this house. I tell you what to do with your finances. I tell you where you're going. It's not like you have an option. If you have an option as you're leaving the house, yes, sir. As you're leaving the house, drop your key in the letterbox.
So what she's saying is, you lot are going out to work and all your funds, you tell me your pay slip, you tell me your finances, you let man know we need to raise this capital. Yeah, you have no option in this house. Bear in mind, there's little girls and there's men in this house. And in rooms, there's up to 14 people. There's more. Just so you know the caliber of people, because it's very important for me to kind of explain. Hang on. The story gets darker.
I'm just trying to think, because that's literally coercion and scam. I'm just trying to think. Leave your answer in the comment section below. What crime is it for when a person it's basically fraud. Let's call it a spade a spade. It's a fraud. It's fraud. It's literally fraud. And they're using bullying tactics to defraud you out of your money or defraud their victims out of their money. That's essentially what it is. And I'm going to see something. How many years is fraud via Okay, so in the UK, hold up. In the UK, the maximum sentence for the offence of controlling or coercive behaviour is 5 years imprisonment or fine or both. Fraud offences themselves can... Hold on. All right, so fraud offences themselves can carry a separate maximum sentence of 10 years imprisonment. Where a pattern of behavior includes pattern of behavior includes elements of both controlling or coercive behavior and specific instances fraud, the perpetrator may be charged with both offenses. The court would then consider the totality of the offending when determining the final sentence, which could be higher than for either offences alone. The actual sentences imposed in any specific cases depend on various factors, including the level of harm caused to the victims, example, financial loss and psychological impact, the offender's culpability with blame and any previous convictions, aggravating or mitigating factors specific to the case, and then on top of that, whether the case is tried in magistrate's court or summary conviction or a crown court or indictment. So essentially, that's what that is. So that's two charges that Mariam could potentially get. I can't predict things, yeah. So I'm not. Do you know what I mean? But that's evidence there. That's literally evidence of saying that. Do you know what I mean? That's the evidence. If they can back that up, if that footage could be used in the court of law, backed with the actual paperwork of or the digital findings of the money that been coming in and out of accounts, that's evidence. That's all I'm saying.
It has not started yet. It's not started yet. I'm just trying to just show you lot, so you lot can understand as we go. Hang on, please. Anyway,
putting together a new order for finances for the house, I began to say to them, yeah guys, I need you to tell me what you're earning. Somebody said, oh, PM is intrusive. Hello? Is my daughter gonna tell me that I'm in? Is Chloe gonna tell me that I'm intrusive? Is a Pastor Maria gonna tell me that I'm intrusive? What are you talking about? I need to invade in your private life. We're gonna share the bed.
she said, I need to invade in your private life. We're going to share the bed. I want you to understand this, yeah? I want you to understand this. No one that loves you is going to speak like this.
Facts.
Understand? No one that loves you is going to speak like this. Now,
and if they need to, and here's the thing, if they need to, for example, I know in some cases there where if in some households, you know what I mean, there's cases where naturally, you know, you're paying for your parents or whatever the case may be, your first paycheck goes on the bills, or do you know what I mean, or something towards the parents or something like that. Do you know what I mean? It's just, and it's not all your pay, it's not every single part of your salary, but if it helps the household and that's what you want to do, or that's what you come to an agreement with your parents or your or like legal guardian. I say legal guardian in the sense of if you are if you're, let's just keep it simple, parents, yeah. So I just know that case, if that can happen, but it's not always all the time. You see what I'm trying to say? It's not a thing of, oh, I need to because of it. No, it's not because of that. But anyway,
this is going to be a time you're going to see it. It's going to be a time you're going to see it on TikTok. It's going to be a time for you lot to come out and tell your truth, and no one's going to do anything to you. I promise you.
Amen.
I'm your main point of contact. No one's going to do anything to you. This is your time to come out and tell your truth. But a lot of people are messaging me and they want to remain anonymous, and to actually counsel this. This is the first woman that we're going for. I want to do deep dives into her. There's about 4 others. We're not even going to talk about Pastor Toby. We're going to talk about the infrastructure, how it works. But anyway, I want you lot to listen to her, because this one here is very powerful here. This is what you call grooming at its finest to little girls.
We're gonna share these finances. You're gonna tell me how much you're earning. She's gonna tell you how much she's earning. If we sit down, if I have 10 girls that are living with me and they all go to work, will I struggle to pay my rent and give seed? Will I struggle to go? You won't even.
So seed now. Seed is a thing where it's like, that's what they call, they have to give seed. What is seed? £1,000 a week. They need to raise seed. Sometimes they have groups when you hear her talking about.
I normally hear the term seed when it comes to investments. So hold on. What is seed? Seed funding. Yeah, seed funding is initial capital a startup to receive to develop a product and cover basic operational costs. That's basically what it is. Essentially, they're using financial terminology, thinking, or financial jargon for their own personal gain. Not, this is what's so mind-boggling. Anyway.
Seed in your groups. There's 10 of you that in your groups. You all need to give £500. That's £5,000. Okay, cool. There's 10 groups. That's 50 bags. You lot need to give seed. What's going on here? And how do we give seed if we have no money? Well, then we take out loans. We open up businesses. We make ourselves broke. Little girls, women, older women. You have to give seed. Anyway.
Struggle to buy clothes. Look, there's a new order. What is the order? What is the order? The order is I want 50 soldiers. I don't want to fool myself and say, oh yeah, there's 100 people that are ready. No, because we're not ready yet. The 100 are still sleeping. Let me raise 50. If those 50 people, I had to ask a question to my leaders yesterday. And the question was very sincere. I don't have time because I've got to get ready. I'm going to drop this in 10 minutes.
I want to show you lot something. Just show you lot something as well before I carry on playing her. Just so you lot know, yeah? I'm going to show you lot
scary,
something.
for real.
You see this witch here? This posts have been limited.
Trust, you know why?
You can't comment on this post.
You know why?
You can't comment on the post. Now, guys, look. What I'm gonna say to you as well. This is just for. It's very important. See, when you watch this video, that you like the video and you comment. Like, you like it and you comment, so it goes out to the algorithms. And it's very important that you press subscribe. You subscribe to this channel, because this channel's always for the greater good.
Subscribe to my channel as well. Do you know what I mean? My channel is also for the greater good, even though I may also, you know, react to other stuff, react to other content and stuff like that. Do you know what I mean? Let's go.
There's gossip, but it's always for the greater good of our community. Now, I'm willing, bro, and I said this, I'm willing to spend time in prison. These people come for me, and you know the spiritual attacks I'm going to get. You know the amount of black magic I'm going to get. After this, I have to do...
No, listen. Hold on. I don't know what's going on. It wouldn't be black magic or anything like that. Like, let's be real here. Let's be real. Because listen, even Eric Chelle blamed voodoo for Congo using voodoo when we got exit out of World Cup qualifications. When I say we, talking about Nigeria is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on. So look, at the end of the day, it's as simple as this. No matter what faith you believe in, no matter what religion or spiritual you believe in, your God is always going to protect you. And especially when you got good intention, no matter what. I'm talking about real, genuine good intentions. Do you understand? Genuine good intentions. Like, you have to understand how it works. But let's keep it moving because this should be working.
I need you lot to actually pray for me. The amount of madness that's gonna come my way. So, but I would rather sacrifice myself to save thousands of people. So I'm letting you lot know. See, this is not normal. It's not normal.
It's not.
I want you to watch it, and I want you to feel uncomfortable. And I'm sorry that people that are watching it, that's gone through this, is going through traumas of when they got bullied or the stuff and what happened. And this is your time as a force to come forward. But anyway,
I had to ask the question, and the question was very clear. I said to my leaders, as a pastor, are you telling me you've been in the nation under the word for 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 6 months? You look, I came into SPAC Nation, I heard the word for a month and I started doing my thing. I don't know about you guys.
Wait, what? She did what? Hang on. Where we at?
come my way. So, but I would rather sacrifice myself to save thousands of people. So I'm letting you lot know. See, this is not normal. It's not normal. I want you to watch it, and I want you to feel uncomfortable. And I'm sorry that people that are watching it, that's gone through this, is going through traumas of when they got bullied or the stuff and what happened. And this is your time as a force to come forward. But anyway,
I had to ask the question, and the question was very clear. I said to my leaders, as a pastor, are you telling me you've been in the nation under the word for 3 years, 2 years, 1 year, 6 months? You look, I came into SPAC Nation, I heard the word for a month and I started doing my thing. I don't know about you guys. I came to SPAC Nation and within month one of hearing Pastor, because I've been in church, I've heard poison. So when I heard the truth, I ran with the truth.
You heard poison. Yeah, you've been poisoned to poison others. You have been poisoned to poison others. That's what that is.
Month one, my giving journey started that week. What are you talking about? I didn't start mobilizing today. I didn't start giving today. I heard the truth. The truth came and set me free from the lies I've been hearing in my head. I'm beginning to look. Let me tell you something now.
and I want you lot to understand, this is all on the base of just giving money. Like, it's on the base of grooming, bullying. You'll get kicked out of the house. You need to get out alone, and you need to give away everything. Everything you make, you sacrifice your pay slips. You tell man what's going on. If you don't want to tell man what's going on, you leave your keys at the door. These are for young girls that don't have nowhere to live. Oh, shit. So I'm sorry you lot are going through this and you're watching this, and I want this to give you the courage to come forward. And don't message me privately, come forward and make these TikToks, because I'll be reacting to the TikToks. And so much of my army, and when I say my army, so much of the community will see this and they will know what's right and what's wrong.
Facts. And I was going to say another thing, yeah, another point I want to make. You see, when it comes to giving tithes and offerings, yeah, when it comes to giving tithes and offering, you're not obligated. Do you understand? If you cannot give, God knows you can't give. Like, God, I'm not talking about pastor, I'm not talking about, God knows you cannot give. If God would then find a way for you to provide, God would then provide a way for you to give. And when you can give, you give. So all the churches that do that nonsense, where they badger people to give, you know what I mean? You can't, you shouldn't do that. If you can give, give. If you can't give, unfortunately, it's sad and unfortunate. And you just have to obviously pray, but also continuously work and have faith in God that you'll be able to provide and be provided for So you can give. So when it's time for you to give, you give. Never feel like you're obligated. Do you understand? Never ever feel like you're obligated. It's a mad thing when I think about it in terms of where people are in their lives and the age. Do you know what I mean? Because you have to experience life, man, to understand what I'm talking about. So this is exactly why I said awareness is one thing, but it's awareness is one thing, but what can I say? Let's go.
Benny.
It is what is the word I'm going to use? It is a disrespect in the highest regard to the word. If you are a leader, if you are a pastor, and you don't have 10 people that you speak to, hear me well. You don't have to like what I'm saying. I don't care if you like what I'm saying. My boldness has gone. It's almost like I'm going back now. The Mariam I kept quiet because I didn't want to offend people. She's back. Yeah? Let me help you. If you
didn't want to offend people, but now you're and she was back. So that means you were poisonous before. And it's sad to say that. I don't even want to say that about someone, let alone. Do you know what I mean? But anyway, I won't go too deep into this. Let's keep it moving.
And this is not about now going to snatch people to raise. There are enough people, new souls, sitting at the back waiting for you.
I hate the way she said new souls. I hate, when they're here, that term, selling your soul to the devil, and then you're hearing that music being played in the background. Do you know how eerie that is?
To get up from the front row, we don't even like your dress anyway, so we don't want to see it in the pictures. Get to the freaking back. Speak to the souls in the back of the church that are crying every day and they're looking for a leader. You have too much independence. Your independence is making you poor. Your mind is, one of my girls said to me, Ma.
We'll get back to, you hear the evil though, yeah? You can hear the grooming, you can hear that. What do you call that? But this same lady, let's get into this one. Because obviously, SPAC Nation, allegedly, they're worldwide, Aki. Let's listen to what this lady had to say.
Targeting American brands and American designers. So if I calculate that in the venue, if I fell for it and went all the way through, it would have been well over 250,000 pounds. If I didn't catch it, I caught it. And this is what happens. She is still right now at this very moment thinking that I'm going to come up with the rest of that money. I then got a phone call from Marion. Marie is the name she's using here. She says that her name is Marie. She's representing WOTC magazine. So you didn't only just want to take money from me, you wanted to destroy me.
So backstory. Mariam, this lady.
Do you know what's mad? The fact that this is gone overseas. That's what's even mad. Let's keep it moving. Let's go.
Yeah. This one here. This witch here, yeah? Backstory. She's now, SPAC has crossed over to America. Now they're forming in the size of like, yo, we can do shoots. We can get you shoots and for your cover, for your business. And cut a long story short, I'm not going to play that whole hour video. Is the lady's talking about she spent £80,000 with lots of bits and that and that and that. And she really wanted to get £250,000 from her to find out nothing was booked. Nothing was booked. And that's what she went through. And this is me just piecing things bit by bit so you can understand. It's a whole chop here. But I don't care about the chop. I'll be honest with you. Like, I do care about the chop. I do care about victims. But I'm concerned about SA and the safety for women. That's what I'm more, safety for little girls. That's what I'm concerned about. But this is just some more context of what.
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. You, respectfully, I don't know if Bouncer's watching this, or I don't know, because it is what it is. Respectfully, but I feel like you should be concerned about them all. Because look at it this way. The more money they have, the more connections they will make with that money, and the more they'll be able to try and coerce people with that money, which leads to, well, let's just say allegedly coerce people into, well, let me start over. Allegedly, the more money they make, or I won't use the make, but the more money they have or get or gain, allegedly they'll be able to use that money to get themselves into a situation where allegedly they connect to other people or other organizations, and then allegedly coerce more people and coerce more victims that lead to what you more are concerned about when it comes to girls and little women, girls and women, or young women, or whatever the case may be. Do you something to say? So it's a cycle, and it's a sad cycle. And look, if you look at certain criminal cases, yeah, you will notice there's a pattern. And do you see what I'm trying to say? There's a certain level of pattern, and I don't even want to say it like that, but there's a pattern, and when you notice that pattern, you will notice the patterns are the same thing that's happening in this situation, allegedly, and that's what I'm talking about. You have to be concerned about everything. Allegedly. I'm gonna continue to use allegedly like bouncer, but let's go.
Marion's been doing and what she's saying.
Line of love, which she calls it. So this is a group chat where Mariam just makes these young, vulnerable girls raise unbelievable amounts of money. In this group chat, this is all Mariam discusses. So when you hear the SPAC Nation pastor saying, I'm raising a line, so this is one of the lines, and she calls it the line of love. In this one, you see Mariam saying, raise 4K in 30 minutes. I don't care why or how, raise it. Guys, I want you to be terrorists.
There you go. I didn't even want to look into that. What she needs to be locked up. She needs to be locked up. She needs to be locked up. She needs to be in jail. All of this stuff, she needs to be in jail. I'm not even kidding about with you. She needs to be made an example out of. And yeah, I understand the what do you call that? The examples some people want to use with words and all that stuff there. But no. Because what she really is doing is terrorizing people. That's what she's doing. But anyway.
If we gave £50 per day, we can raise 1,800 times 7. That's 12,600. That means that all our pastors have a line. She's atting someone saying, you're delaying us. Guys, I hate delay so much. Can you see that? She's just...
I want you to understand, this is a lady that's in the group with the members. And this is the oppression. Like, this is the oppression that they have to go through. Like, they have to go through mad oppression to raise this money. This is grooming. This is grooming. This is madness. This is bullying. This is madness. This is mental abuse. I want you to understand this. This is what this is.
And it's not just mental abuse, it's also emotional abuse. Emotional.
I want you to understand that. Anyway.
So saying, if any of you get in trouble, make sure it's on money. She's encouraging these girls to get themselves in trouble for the sake of money. So here she's saying she needs to do a private periscope. Imagine I'm talking to PT about bare fun stuff. He hears that there's a need I haven't sorted. He G-checks me. Once I've sorted everything, we're friends again. She's saying, hold it first, build until I say otherwise. Like she's part of our 10k, but I told her to send by accident. But that's already 600 now, so we have 9.4k to go. Don't let your family be caught weak. I want to know who's fighting with me. My family will bring 10 to 20k. £200 was sent to Brixton Post, confirmation details. So after the pressure, you can see.
Do you understand?
Brixton Post. Anyway.
They're getting a press to go to their family to get money from their family. Now I'm going to show you screenshots of victims, older brothers and whatnot, saying, yo, I gave my little brother and sister 5k. I'm going to show you screenshots of that, just so you can understand what's going on here. Yeah? This is a church, by the way. SPAC Nation is a church. You'll never think it. You'll never think it. This is chop life. This is just money. And what makes it even more sad, they're targeting little black girls and they're pressing them. And the males that are in the house, they're all sharing bunk beds, they're all wearing each other's clothes.
You see that Freudian slip, sharing cells? Yeah, because they will be sharing jail cells. They will be. They will be. After this, well, allegedly, Mariam definitely will be in a set of our own at this point. But the other ones, there's so far, we can only say, you know what I'm saying? And unless, this is what I'm just trying to think, because I know in America, you see, for example, I know it's a different case. Yeah, it's a different case. But in America, for example, the feds can basically charge they can charge someone. Do you see what I'm gonna say? They can prosecute that person, put them on trial, this, that, and the third. But in the UK, I'm not 100% sure. I don't know how that works, but let's go.
It's crazy, man. It's crazy.
One of the members or one of the person in the line sending the money over. I need a total 20k, guys. I'm not playing. Can you see this? This is a threat.
I'm gonna search though. Give me a second. We're gonna still play this, but I'm gonna search.
This is the pressure she's putting on them. Yes, Ma, if we do this, we do this as a unit. So now one of the leaders, she's trying to motivate the other girls to also send money. Please let us know how much is needed to balance out the figures for Love Line. This is disturbing. Can you see these young girls? I need this line to raise 4 to 5k. We are only on 1.5k. So she just randomly pops up in the chat and tells them to raise money. I'm not going to Nigeria because I'll be in London getting money. I believe this is when one of the...
Okay, so I just had to ask the question. I'm sorry I couldn't flip the screen, because every time I flip the screen, sometimes the audio goes off. But basically, more or less asked, can the police press charge for a victim in the UK? It says yes, the police can proceed with a case even if the victim doesn't want to press charges, as this is a decision made by the Crown Prosecution Service, not the victim. So, you know, in this particular situation, I really want to know, I know I'll probably do it another time, with all this evidence that we're going to allegedly see, when will it be time for the Crown Prosecution Service to press charges, or the police to press charges against the perpetrators, so victims can get they can get justice?
Bosses had a traditional wedding. She decided to stay because of money. I've been watching how you guys are mobilized, and I have some concerns. Some of you are only interested in reaching your 1k. The instruction was in this chat that we mobilize as a family. Once you have built your line, we'll move on to build other lines.
And this is this woman here, guys. This is her.
I had a vision. So what's the vision? She said I had worms in my head. I had so many worms in my head, and the first thing I decided to do is say, okay, and how I know she's my daughter, because she thinks like me. So I don't mind having worms in my head. I'm just going to take your head. Yeah, I don't have a problem.
Yes, you have a problem.
Coming from a failure of a background. My parents are not rich. I'm just going to go and get new parents. My mom don't know how to speak the word. I'm just going to take Pastor Lucy as my mom. I don't mind coming from a bad background. Coming from a poor background.
I'm going to take part. Can you see the grooming and the manipulation? Can you see it? Can you hear it? This is what you call grooming manipulation at its finest. It's basically saying like, yo, my mum is now not my mum. And you know, it's actually sad when I show that. I'm actually going to show it now, actually.
How can you say that about your mother?
Because you know why it's sad? It's actually sad.
And
I
it's
showed
no,
this.
you're right. It is sad because there's a verse. I can't remember the verse verbatim, but you're supposed to honor your mother and honor thy father. Do you understand? That's not honoring your mother or your father, or in this case, honoring your mother doing it. That's not honoring your mother. You're not following the word of word of God. You're not following the Bible, but we clearly know she isn't based on the action she's taken. So you want to use God's words and use it for stuff like this. This is why God is saying, you know what, it's time to expose you lot properly this time. Get me? You know, were exposed before, but this time there's no going back.
Where is it? It's sad. Because, yeah, here it is. I'll show you now. This is it here. Let me just crop the name. Okay, you can see how they're getting groomed. And, bro, they just don't come back home. Let me send it now. Send it.
Shout out to Bouncer for this, man. For real,
I'll send it so you can see it, yeah? Here you go. Let me get up. They just don't come back home. This from them tools, from their drums. Look, so you know, guys. My little bro and sister lives there. They are so brainwashed that my sister will miss my mum's birthday if there's something going on in the church. I gave my little
What did I say
bro
about honoring your
5K
mother?
for trading, and I know they took the money off him. He said his account got closed, so he had to wait 30 days so we can get the money back. 4 months later, no money. My mum took him to the bank, and they said he has taken the money. His reaction was Pastor Sam said they was going to say that. His reaction was Pastor Sam said they was going to say that. Pastor Sam, I got something for you. You little, let me just keep this video so they don't get strapped or whatnot. But Pastor Sam,
All right, listen. Give me a few seconds. Give me. Gotta do something real quick. But yeah, shout out to everyone watching. Shout out to all the subscribers, the returning subscribers. Let me know what you're like in the comments. Now is your chance, yeah. In the comments below, let me know what the solutions you think can happen. Yeah, because remember, I did ask, like, how do they get themselves in this situation in the first place? Because I feel like once we know that root cause, then we can find out like a real proper solution. Like, but other than that, let me know what your thoughts are. Leave it in the comments below. I'll be back. Don't worry, because there's a lot more to get through. You know what I'm saying? Let's go. All right, I'm back. Shout out to everyone. Let's go. No
Achi.
delays.
Achi. Anyway, so you see when she's saying all of this, I'm going to move on. You catch the drift. I'm going to do a deep dive into her. Don't worry about her. I'm going to do a deep dive. You can see that they're American. She got thingies. You can see the group chat. And you can see what the content creator Kane has said.
What's going on, people? A SPAC Nation member has started to bring their tomfoolery to TikTok. Arguably, SPAC Nation is old news. However, TikTok is a new platform. And that reflects in a lot of the comments that this SPAC Nation member is getting. A lot of people are engaging with her aspirational content, stuff like I used to live here and now I live here. And dad reveal. What she hasn't revealed is that her dad or spiritual dad is one of the main SPAC Nation pastors who went on the big BBC to defend allegations. She's also not telling you this.
The lovely house you live with about 5, 10? I was 14 in total.
So although you see the big house, she lives with 14 other people. And while they do these house tours, you never actually see their actual bedrooms because it's likely they are sharing. A lot of the SPAC Nation trap houses are in the suburbs of South London, so I grabbed the most expensive one of Rightmove. Swimming pool, 7 bedrooms, everything. Divided between 14 people, that's £600 a month. And I'm not saying that they do that, but it's clearly not that aspirational. So don't be fooled by the tomfoolery. Personally, I prefer to own a home here rather than to rent a home there.
For real, though. For real.
What's going on, people?
And that's just some, because you know, this has been going on for a long. You get me? It's been going on for a long. And this is just a little storyline of one of the little sis is basically just saying how she almost got caught in the cult. Because it's a cult.
What up, world? It's your girl. So as the title suggests, I'm going to be speaking on my experience in a cult. Yep, you guessed it, the cult is SPAC Nation. All the theories are correct. It is a cult. It is a cult. I cannot stress this any further. It is a cult. And I realised it was a cult because there was so much emphasis on going to like house fellowships and house groups. It's like you had to be plugged into a certain like house fellowship and it was just too intense. Literally, my friend from another church, she was moving churches, so I brought her along with me. First of all, the only reason why I was going to SPAC was because forced me to go, by the way. Anyways, yeah, you know, I brought my friend to one of the house fellowships and they just kept badgering us to go. They just kept like trying to push us to go, and we were like, my guy, it's really not by force. Also, I had A-levels during that time as well, so I wasn't going to church. I wasn't trying to go to church. I'm fucking revising. The fuck? And they literally used it.
They used that against her. Listen, anyway, let's go.
Me talking all this shit like, oh, how's God gonna bless you with your A-levels if you're not going to church, blah blah blah, all this BS. Around the same time as well, there was a guy that was trying to move to me, and
I'm not gonna say this. I'm saying this once and for all. Do you know how many times God has blessed me, despite not? There were times when I didn't go to church. God has blessed me. Obviously, yeah. If you can go to church, go to church. But like, if you can't make it to church for whatever circumstance, doesn't mean that God's not gonna bless you. God will still bless you. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's keep it moving.
Talk to me, bearing in mind he was like 24, 25. I was 16. At first I thought he was just being...
And you gotta understand, yeah, there's many of these. There's
16 and 24.
I'm gonna tell you a story with one of the pastors. It's like he was living a secret life because he had a relationship and whatnot. He was with his girlfriend for 3 years and his girlfriend's come forward, you get me, and telling me actually the traumatic and how it affected her. So we're gonna go through that, but let's just listen to this. It's very important that we watch every bit of this.
Being friendly, but I don't know, like the more the conversation continued, I just realised that yeah, I'm never speaking to this Donny again. As a result of that, I didn't respond to any of his messages. I didn't pick up any of his phone calls, and because of that, he was telling people that I have a confused spirit, thing wrong with me, all because I didn't want to get fucking groomed by a predator. I also noticed as well,
I like how he's emphasizing on these words, yeah, because you need to understand the level. It is grooming. He is a predator. It's one thing to evangelize, yeah. It's one thing to do that. Do you know, that's one thing, but it's another thing to then try to manipulate someone, or do you know what I mean? Thinking that they are, I don't know what the word is. Like there's many ways you can put this into perspectives, but for me personally, I feel like she's using the right words, and it's good that she's able to articulate the unfortunate situation that she almost got herself into. And I say almost because look how she's able, and there's many that possibly weren't able to, and not able to articulate themselves enough.
And this is why it's mad, guys, yeah? This is an innocent little sister, yeah? Why is she doing a story time on TikTok, telling her experiences, what she went through, almost getting caught or going into that SPAC nation? Why would you even have to even feel that? Why is a 24-year-old talking to a 16-year-old? And like what? Like I don't understand that. Why is she just gonna make up a story? Do you get it?
Encourage people not to work and not to have a job because they're all like just there, just going to different schemes and producing different schemes, distractions for people to lose time and forget what they're meant to be doing. In 2016 also, the pastor, I don't even call him pastor, he's not a fucking pastor, he's a narcissist and someone who's just thirsty for clout. Anyways, this guy now encourages bare people to vote Brexit, one of them being my mum. And that's how you know it's a cult, because they're influencing.
How did he manage to try and convince your mom to vote Brexit? What did he say to your mom to why she voted Brexit? Listen, whatever political beliefs is whatever you believe. This is the other thing. There's sometimes... This is why... Listen, whatever political beliefs is whatever you believe in. The main issue here is using someone's political beliefs, or not even that, like using an agenda. Let's not use the word political belief. Using a belief system, thinking this is going to be it. Do you get it? I know it sounds mad, innit? Like yeah, it's definitely on my neck.
Influencing people's political views. Also, I've always been into art. I've always been a creator.
But anyway, let's get into the next person. Ding, ding, ding. Pastor Samuel. Step forward, my brother. Now, I'm not going to say too much about Pastor Samuel, but this is Pastor Samuel. So this is the next man. You got Miriam, you got Pastor Samuel, and you got a few others.
I believe there was a documentary on the British Broadcasting Corporation in regards to Miriam, and I believe I remember seeing. I don't even want to show you if I can look for it, because I think I favorited the documentary for me to watch another time, and I just haven't got round to watching it. It might be time to watch it. Now might be the perfect time to watch it if it's still available. Or if there are documentaries available on YouTube, I might just have to react to it and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. Hit the subscribe button, turn on the post notification so you're notified when I do actually react to it. Do you know what I mean? And I'll go live and you watch there and then. Because again, I think also watching a documentary can allow me to understand, okay, let's find the solution. Because like I said, we need to find out how do they get coerced? How do they evangelize? Is that how they're doing it? So when it comes down to evangelism now, maybe, and this is just a maybe it just comes down to, okay, take whatever leaflet they got and just take their names if you need to take their names, research, like Google them, Like literally Google them. And if they try to say, don't believe everything you see on the internet when it comes to my name or Google or whatever comes to my name, run. Run as far as you can. Like far, 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 far away. Like for real, for real. Anyway, let's keep moving.
But Pastor Samuel, he's like that. He's the man. He runs a lot of the infrastructure. So, and let's get up Pastor Samuel's files, because it's very important that we get up Pastor Samuel so you kind of understand. And before we get up Pastor Samuel's files, this is another thing. This is his talk. This is what he does to his leaders or his community. So you can watch this. You know what I mean? Let's get into this.
Ain't it interesting, yeah? How you have like criminals, yeah? One thing about criminals, they always leave breadcrumbs. They always leave breadcrumb trails for you to, you know what I'm saying? They leave breadcrumbs. Let's keep it moving. Let's go.
I'm sowing 1K a week. However we want to put it, it's 1K a week, and I'm sowing that 1K a week, and I'm not relenting on that 1K a week. But and I've sown way more than 1K a week, to be honest. Sometimes you can get 5K in a week, you get this, that, and the other. And I know this seed is pushing me to somewhere. Someone would say you have.
Yeah, that seed that is pushing you to somewhere. But you're planting the seeds for you to end up in jail, mate. That's what's happening. You're going to be locked up. Yeah? Allegedly. Allegedly. Let's use the word allegedly. Allegedly.
So much issues on you. You have so much debt that you're battling, but this, that, and the other, but you don't relent on your seed. By the time you're ready to have your children, and by the time a certain generation is growing, to give £1,000 a week for a work.
So what I want you to understand is Pastor Samuels is talking about people giving £1,000 a week for seed. So he's saying, yo, you lot should be giving £1,000 a week for seed. Like, this is what's been happening. So when you're in the house, this is the oppression that you lot got, the pressure to raising money. And guess what? Now, what I'm going to show you is 100% facts, Pastor Samuels. You get me? And it's a police matter. So
so he's already, in regards to the police, the police are already aware of his name. Interesting. But hang on, wasn't Pastor, okay, he didn't say anything in regards to Pastor Tobi yet, but at least we now know he has Pastor Samuels. You know what I mean? Let's keep it moving. You get it.
I'm not going to go too deep into it because I do have the evidence, and I'm not going to come forward online to affect anything of what's actually happening. Do you know what I mean? I wouldn't do that. But Mr. Pastor Samuels, the second in command, let's read this. Hey, subject SPAC. My friend recently left SPAC Nation 2 months ago as the senior pastor of the church. Samuels beat her up and left her in hospital with 2 black eyes, several concussions, a fractured nose, and multiple bruises all over her body.
Bro, what the F is going on? Is this what a pastor does? Of course not. Is every human perfect? Of course not. But come on. Come on.
Because she spoke up against something she was uncomfortable with. Pastor Terry. Pastor Terry. Pastor Terry. I'm gonna get to you. I'm gonna get to you, Pastor Terry. But anyway, Pastor Terry, that you also spoke about on there, also joined in the beating. Her and some of the members just stood there and watched. They were both arrested and kept in the cell for 24 hours about 3 weeks ago due to the incident. I have the pictures, evidence, and it's now a full police case.
The main thing is it's a police case. Just the other thing is I'm concerned for the victim. I want to make sure that the victim's okay. But other than that, yeah, justice is coming for real, for real. This is sad. This is not even, I don't even know how to word this. The word is not sad. I don't know what the word is. It's disheartening when you hear these type of stories. And as much as I'm saying, what's the solution, what's the solution, what's the solution, we got to remember there's already victims out there. So the situation is, the situation is already, from the victim standpoint, like, how can the victims gain justice without having to relive their trauma? That's another thing people have to bear in mind. Because even just this alone, victims are probably watching this and seeing this and they're reliving their trauma. So imagine if they have to go to court about it, to speak up about what they sadly experienced. So we have to take things into all considerations here. But let's keep it moving though.
The full police case. I'm not gonna come out and just be like, look, I'm telling the truth. I'm gonna let you lot know what I'm saying. This is what's going on in SPAC Nation. Now I'm gonna say it again. There might be thousands of SPAC Nation. I'm not saying all of them are painted with the same brush, but this is what's going on in the senior infrastructure of SPAC Nation.
And there's the thing, you're already hearing what Mariam does, what she says, and you're already hearing all that stuff. You're already hearing what Pastor Sam been saying. So there you go. If there's any more proof, there's the proof. Do you know what I mean? In terms of the grooming and allegedly. Do you know what I mean?
I'm going to tell you, I'm not talking about Pastor Tobi really with this one. I'm going to talk about what's going on with the people that run the show. Now, you've got a man putting their hands on women, getting arrested. Allegedly. Police matter, by the way. All in the name of, you know, I'm not even going to go there, man. Look at this, Pastor Sam and Pastor Terry. This is what he had to say. This is the thing.
That's too low.
Pastor Sam.
I want you to know what we're fighting through now, SPAC Nation. Connect. It will be like, that's too low. They'll be like, that's the norms to be able to give like billionaires and millionaires. To be, you know, I don't know, I because of reason I can't share these examples, but for now there's been 10. And
to be honest with you, this is the reason why I jumped in. 13-year-olds and this and another reason. You see, when it comes to people getting taken advantage of, obviously for women getting, look at this, Pastor Sam and Pastor Terry. This is what he had to say. This is the thing.
That's too low.
Pastor Sam.
I want you to know what we're fighting through now, SPAC Nation. Connect. it will be like that's too low. They'll be like that's the norms to be able to do, to be able to give like billionaires and millionaires to be, you know, I don't know, I because of reason I can't share these examples, but for now there's been 10. And
to be honest with you, this is the reason why I jumped in. 13-year-olds and this and another reason. You see, when it comes to people getting taken advantage of, and obviously for women getting taken advantage of, you see, when it comes to all the rest, the men, whatever, you have to deal with. But it seems to me that there's no one standing up for our community.
Here's the thing, could you say it's no one standing up for our community, or is it a case of people are speaking but are not being heard? Or they're being heard but not... You see, all right, look, you see the platform that Bouncer has built, for example. Because of the platform he has built, and he's unapologetic, it's given a reason for people to speak up. Do you know what I mean? It's like, for example, in Nigeria, for example, VDM. He's built up his platform. He's unapologetic. He speaks up. He speaks out about certain things. Do you understand how it works? So there's ways you can look at this, yeah, and you could say, well, do you know what I mean? Like, as long as someone has a substantial amount of a substantial amount of platform, maybe that's it. But then, is that enough? Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe not. So I won't even talk about that. That's going to be for another subject, another day. What I want to talk about, what I just saw. So that's why I was smiling. But look. Anyway, let's keep it moving.
You get me? Pastor Sam, don't worry, man. I've got another video that will come for you soon, man. You get me? Now we're going to go into this one. I actually forgot his name. I'm going to go to this one. Now, this guy here.
Sorry. See, this is why I'm just thinking, if I go live tomorrow again, should I do this? I might as well. I'm just thinking. I don't know. Because today I meant to go live on the I Could Be on Trust channel, but it just so happened that I ended up going live on, do you know what I mean? But anyway, doesn't matter. Anyway, let's keep it moving because time is pushing. Look, I need you to understand that, yes, giving awareness is one thing, and we just need solutions. We need, for the victims going forward, we need to find a way for them to get justice, a way for them to continuously heal. And you know what I mean? And I say continuously heal, but get to a point where they are healed. I don't know if you can ever heal from this type of trauma, if I'm honest. But yeah, man, this is a very interesting situation that we are not even interested. I won't use that term. It's just it literally gets me thinking, and I just hope whatever solutions I have going forward, I just hope action is taken, because it's easy for me to speak, it's easy for me to say do this, do that, but it's up to the victims, or I don't see, this is what I'm trying to say. It's up to everyone involved. And it's obviously ultimately up to God to what happens next. Let's go.
Do you know what he done? I tried to search for him on social media. Tried to look him up. And I was like, I tried to look him up. And I was like, flipping, how come I can't find him? Pastor Henry. Why can't I find Pastor Henry? It's because, obviously, I've given you 48 hours and 28 hours and you blocked me. Come on, Pastor Henry.
Listen, this is why, respectfully, as much as I like that Bouncer has created this theme, let's call it is a theme really, of You got 24 hours, you got 48 hours. You see, when it comes to 13-year-old or young girls or even young boys, I sincerely don't believe you should put yourself in that position where it is that you take that long. Now, I get it. Maybe you're just gathering up more information, and rightfully so. So I'm like, if you're gathering up more information, let that be that situation. But it would have been, I genuinely believe it's a good idea to speak on something straight off the cuff. But then here's the thing. Even when I found out about this, when he did this, I wanted to react straight away, but I couldn't. So timing is everything. Timing is literally everything. Let's go.
Henry, bro, on my Instagram, this is not the one on the computer. It's not my main Instagram. Why would I put my main Instagram on my computer for? I might as well just put one of them like that I can search people up. Then I found you, and I thought, okay, Pastor Henry, I got your files. Now this is involving a male. Allegedly, this is involving a male, and then this male. Let's get up. Look for it. This male has come forward and he wanted to speak to me in private because this one here was very, very deep here. And he couldn't really get out, because if he did get out, do you know what I mean? It's a bit embarrassing, and you know, like, people are going to tarnish a man's name, and we didn't really want that to happen. Do you know what I'm trying to say? But this is how it started. Just read this. Just get into it. So you know. Hey, bro. Hope you're good. If I could come forward and talk to you privately without myself name getting involved with it, it's about a member from SPAC Nation. I sent him a voice note. It's appreciate. Basically, I was much younger and naive. I got sucked in as much young people do. Looking back at it, I was groomed by one of the pastors.
It's literally got me asking, what type of how see this is why I need to watch a documentary, because I need to find out from members how they got, you know, how they entered, how they became victims. Do you understand? Especially, do you know what I mean? It's because everyone's got a story to tell in general. Do you know what I mean? It's like, for example, there was one, I don't even want to talk too much on this particular situation, but not to say it's a bad situation. It's just, for example, no, that's not even it's not even a good example to give, really and truly, because I'm just trying to think. When you're young, you want to be part of something. You know, I can't even give it. I don't know. I can't speak for other people. Let people speak for themselves.
And he'll help me with my business. Even went to one of their offices in which he came onto. Wait, hold on.
What?
Helped me business in which he came officers in which he came onto me. Stuff did happen. Came onto me. Stuff did happen. This person has a wife and kids, and was told by him to keep quiet on the DL, as they say. And I kept trying to message and link.
God, why do people go through these things? God. People are evil, man. There's some really, really evil people in this world. There's some evil people in this world. Evil. God, protect people, but protect everyone, obviously, first and foremost, but especially vulnerable people, bruh. Try like, and it's just the fact that he said he was young and naive, and that's the thing. Like, and it's like, obviously, oh man, like I said, if the police can press charges for the victims, they need to do so. Like, they need to do so. If there's a lot more, I don't want to say if there's a lot more evidence, but obviously substantial enough evidence to the point where they get locked up, where they can only plead guilty. Do you understand that part? Allegedly.
Up after, but I didn't reply or go back to the church. Goes by the name Pastor Henry. I've seen that place messed up with people's life credit by financially abusing people and ruining people's financial name, allegedly. So I responded, guys. Just understand. He's saying that, get me, he's much younger, naive, he got flipping groomed, he went to the office and something happened. I was a bit confused. You get me? I'm speaking to one of the man them when I'm messaging him. He's one of the man them. Like, look at me, one of the man them. You know what I mean? So I responded. And I said, yo, my bro, appreciate it. Message, and I'll never share your profile or anything. Then you say he came onto you. Do you mean in a sexual way? What did he actually do? Do you have any proof? He said, yes, sexually. Asking me.
I'm glad Bouncer asked that question as well. Do you have any proof? Because the thing about these things, yeah, because anyone can say anything about anyone. Do you understand? Sadly, but at the same time, it's not even about it's not about that. If they have evidence, again, this is the thing. Like I said, if there's evidence, that the victims need justice. Simple as. So it's high time that victims get justice. Doesn't matter where they're from, and it doesn't matter where they're from. They deserve justice, and they shall get justice.
To give him head, basically. Man's got a pastor asking a man to give a man alleged oral sex, bro. Like, what is going on here? Like, do you know, I'll be honest with you, see the amount of messages that I've received. I haven't even gone through a quarter of this, and it has to be done. Like, this is so uncomfortable for people to watch it, because I know people are either watching it and they're hearing the mad stories and thinking, bro, this is actually what happened to me. And I'm sorry, guys. And we just go through it, and I want you lot to come forward. He said, I deleted and blocked him of everywhere. Our convo was on Snapchat, of course. And yeah, I had no reason to lie. I've moved on from that, but they kept messaging.
Exactly. Which man's going to lie about that? And even if a man was to lie about that, then that's a bit mad. But, like, which man's going to lie about that? And if they're saying they got proof, they're going to have to show that they got proof. Do you see what I'm saying? At some point.
Messing up with people's lives. This all happened around 2017, 2018. And I said, I will block your name. I said, appreciate it. But yeah, just respectfully don't want my name attached to it just because to protect my current client I work with. So I said, basically, I told him to send my man's Instagram. I didn't know who it was. You get me? So obviously, he sent his Instagram, and it's Pastor Henry. Pastor Henry. Let's go to Pastor Henry's page. But in my head, I was like, I went to my Instagram, typed in Pastor Henry's. I will show you the proof, guys. but to my Instagram. Why can't I find Pastor Henry on my Instagram? Could he blocked me? What's he got to hide? Anyway, allegedly.
For real, what have you got to hide? But no, for real. This is sad, man. In life, you just don't know what some people go through. You honestly don't until it's exposed.
Raising awareness, guys. You get me? Raising awareness. Now, we've got CK. So we got CK. What I'm going to say about CK, know that he's come from a rough background. And I made a video about him giving me flowers and giving him his accolades. I ain't got nothing crazy to say about him. I just got to say, obviously, their business infrastructure, you get me? Their business infrastructure is more going down the route of CK's his girlfriend. This is CK's girlfriend. So we understand when it comes to the laundering and when it comes to building multiple businesses and having people as front men, these are the people that come at the front of it. The owner of the business, you get me? And I know these lot thought, oh yeah, boom. Anyone that's involved in SPAC, I've got your whole files. This is just a tip of that.
I like it. I like when he says, I've got your whole file, I've got your file. Do you know what I'm saying? That's it, Bouncer. Trust me, dog. I respect Bouncer for this, yeah? Because it's not easy to have a platform and then speak on certain situations, especially things like this. Especially things like this. It's not easy. Yeah, obviously, you got other organizations that major corporation or major media outlets that have spoken on SPAC Nation, but that doesn't do anything really and truly. But it helps if we're creating awareness. But sometimes I've learned that sometimes you have to, it takes talking about something several times or more than several times to be able to solve a problem, or do you know what I mean? Because then maybe someone later on down the line are of age, and they'd be like, they're of age, and not only are they of age, they have the right platform, they have the right funding, they have the right resources to be able to put an end to this. Do you get it? Because you know that there's a saying, and it's a Tupac saying. He said, I'm not saying I'm going to change the world, but I guarantee I will spark the generation that will change it. That's not verbatim, but you get it.
Iceberg. I'm only just trying to pack something in for a 1.5 hour video so everyone can see an overall thing of what's going on. Then I was like, okay, cool. I spoke to this lady and I was like, let's get out the messages. And this was Pastor Terry. Now, Pastor Terry, come forward. Because I was thinking, okay, cool. Now it's time to get the messages up for Pastor Terry and what's been going on with Pastor Terry. Before I even make you look read the messages, that it's important I have to block out the names. I forgot to block out the names. So Pastor Terry is another one now that we're going to get into. Because it's deep. It's actually deep. There's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, cool. That's one. But guys, I want you lot to understand the stuff that's going on is absolutely disgusting. Like when I say disgusting, I mean like this is I probably ain't even heard nothing yet. Do you know what I'm trying to say? It's absolutely disgusting. And I'm actually just looking at all the messages just to make sure I don't reveal this person. So just bear with me, please. It's absolutely disgusting. I haven't even gone on to actually people actually being scammed. This is why it's even crazier. I haven't gone on to people being scammed. Okay, cool. I think I've stopped it at, let me look at it. Okay, cool. Let's get this up. Now, I looked at Pastor Terry's page and I was like, what's his social media? And I was like, okay, I get it. I get it. He's took his pictures down. I get it, man. He's made it private. He's smart. He's smart. I get it. He's made it private. You know, like I'm trying to get pictures of him. I'm just like, right, who is Pastor Terry? Like, how do I get the picture of him? Like, who is he? Obviously, this picture here that I show you is from like a FaceTime, but obviously I had to crop the name. I had to crop the picture. So this is Pastor Terry here. And this is Pastor Terry here. And this is Pastor Terry. I know it was Terry Clark. You get me? And the biggest trick the obviously devil ever pulled off was convincing the world he doesn't exist. He is everywhere, even in churches. This is Pastor Terry. Now, Pastor Terry, there's some deep stuff about you, my brother, that we need to get into. Get me? And you see, my thing is, when I make this video, I'm gonna say allegedly, because you know what's gonna happen? Multiple other people going to come forward and actual more victims of who Pastor Terry allegedly has slept with. Allegedly. Let's get into it though. Do you know what I mean? Let's get into it. Because this is crazy. Just making sure that, you know, her name's not in this. So I flick the screen. This is the first one. It just says, hey, bouncer, again, I love what you're doing. For that reason, I want to send some more evidence. Not too long, but detailed enough, showing what I went through on a personal level. As his girlfriend, I still want to remain anonymous. But with this evidence is very explicit. Can you blur out parts? I'm not gonna send you the message, guys. And this is just surface levels. I will do it thick timeline for extra contents within both 24. I met him when we were both 24, met him when we was 2021. So in the beginning we were together, but split because of the abuse I received emotionally from him. He came back in 2024 in my most vulnerable stage, and would have sent this, and she sent some messages. But I want to get into this one. I have everything, but I don't want it to listen to victims. Every bit of message, it means everything. So I want to get into this. They said, I guess got lured in the church. I only attended the church for 3 months after years of him trying to get me to come, and I fell because I thought he was a changed man. Then I found out that he had 2 abortions for a girl in the church whilst still dealing with me. One of his boys came to also tell me that left the church after being there for 7 years, that they all share a room, and became distant to Terry's. Funny enough, this was the least painful part, me finding out evidence of Terry and me actually knowing him, just in case, because people do lie a lot. And it's very, when I'm speaking to people, I'm just not receiving any messages. Do you know what I mean? It's very important. she goes to say this: I trade a lot and make a lot of money for myself. They took advantage of that, and the only reason why I gave was out of goodwill gesture, and only when someone from church was literally starving, for example, someone saying they hadn't eaten that day. But Terry took the real advantage of this, which further caused me to distance. And as you can see, I didn't even ask for any funds back. Yet Sam didn't do anything about it, but kept asking to have a meeting. That's how they trap you. I'm guessing Terry was confronted in some way, as he sent me this and kept calling constantly. By the way, this all happened around March of this year, 2025. There's another one. There's a longer one that I need to get and show you lot. There's a longer one, guys. There's a longer one. I'll read it out. I'll put it on the thing. I'll read it out. I'm sure you lot believe me now. You get me? Okay, this is it here. Let me just make sure that her name is not in it. Guys, listen. Let's get into this. Okay, cool. Okay, this is the bottom bit. How come I didn't get this out? Wait. Okay, cool. Let me send it now. So at the bottom of this was my concern. This, innit? You get me? I had to take some time offline and work on my mental health, as not only was I cheated on post-incident, I was now financially abused. I've seen something of stories about Terry Clark and how he had raped a 14-year-old at the time he was a bit older. One of the trap houses, and nothing was done about it. As said, from victims hearing all of the broke my heart, and I pray others with a story get their justice. So she basically saying she heard this from victims. You know what I mean? And there's multiple screenshots stating that there's stuff happening in the houses and the pastors are pushing people to have abortions and crazy stuff. You get me? Now, there's another one. There was another screenshot. This is one of the ladies I got a screenshot. You get me? Her name is Pastor Nikki. Now, Pastor Nikki just would, in the message, they're saying that she's just a bully and she's an oppressor and she pushes people to have abortions. And it's crazy. These are all people of God.
Allegedly. I'm sorry, if you're a person of God, you're not going to be doing that. You're just not. You're just not. Do you know what I mean? You're just not. Let's just keep it moving. Let's go.
But I want to get into this. I want to get into this because this is more down the road of what's going on. Let me play this so you can kind of see what's happening with the fraud side of things and people getting oppressed and pushed. I know this is becoming very long, so I want to do deep dives, but I just want to get the facts of what's kind of going on and just end it off with a little bit of Pastor Tobi information just so you look just so you're aware of what's going on with his immigration. Obviously that he got revoked immigration, that his charity got shut down for 1.9 million. These are the things that's happened. Now we saw what happened to Tim Westwood. It's taken years for the BBC to actually come forward and whatnot. But there's so much messiness in here, and it's disgusting. And there's so much people that's getting groomed and getting bullied, and they have to submit their pay slips. You heard it from the horse's mouth. I'm not making this up. You get me? So they have to submit their pay slips. You get me? But I want you to understand, this is a lady that was working at SPAC at the early time, and she lost a lot of money. So you can listen to what she had to say.
Hmm.
I'm going to try and keep this quick. So the first one was about guarantor loans. So I was in SPAC between 2017 and 2020.
There you go, guarantor loan. Because then it means that if they default, if they don't pay back that loan, you're gonna. If you sign off on a guarantor, you have to pay it. And if you can't pay it, that puts you into debt. Because I remember there was a time I wanted to get a loan. Yeah, my credit rating was so bad. Yeah, it was awful. It was awful. All right. And to cut a long story short, I thought, let me get a loan, a guarantor loan. And then I remember the person I asked, they said no. I can't remember who I asked. In fact, I believe I asked one of my sisters. Shout out to my sisters. Like, I believe I asked one of my sisters, and they said no. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But I know I asked someone, and they said no. And thankfully, they did. Thankfully, it said no. Thankfully, because that puts them into debt. Not to say that they can't pay it off or won't pay it off. They want to make sure that you're responsible for what the loan you want to take out. But you shouldn't be taking out that loan in the first place. Here's the thing: loans are mad, yeah. Unless it's a business situation, and you can prove that you can potentially make that income and more, so you can make a profit. So you'll obviously pay off that debt and make that profit. Fairs. But if I don't even want to say too much because this is just man.
And in that time, I suffered an extensive amount of financial abuse at the hands of leadership. I was affiliated with a particular, I was two community units, but one in particular was called Croydon Connect. This is where I'd say the most dodgy people were involved. I got involved with them because there was a community unit that I used to attend, which had a mix of two fellowships. And when it kind of got disbanded, I was posted back with this other community unit. That's how I kind of came across this particular group in the first place. I was a very trustworthy person. I was like the treasurer for the community unit and stuff, kept all the bank records and stuff. So that's how I guess they came to see me in that way, where they could come and they could, drain me effectively. So as you can see in the first, I think it's two pages or two attachments, that's a write-up that I wrote because there was an internal audit team that was produced by, or that was created within SPAC Nation, set up to monitor and to process all of the different people who were complaining about financial abuse for all of these guarantor loans. I was asked to set up these guarantor loans under a relatively good, I would say, approach to try.
So I want you to understand.
They know what they're doing.
At the start, everything seemed genuine, and then the greed and then the madness happened. And she's going to kind of break down how much actual debt that she's in. But I want you to understand this just before I wrap this up. I've got a few other TikToks, but I want you to understand. I haven't gone into the actual people. Every person that's at SPAC Nation, apart from the main people that are in debt, they're taking out loans, bro. They're in debt, bro. You get me? They're getting groomed. They're in debt. They're in debt, bro. Little girls, they're getting debt. They're getting invited. I'm going to show you how they invite people to masterclasses and brunches. They don't do it just directly. They do it multiple other ways. And they own multiple businesses, by the way. And I have every single ring of businesses that they own.
Trying to fund small businesses and startups. And if they had done it according to the way that they had sold it, to be honest, it actually wouldn't have been bad. But they didn't. They said that they were going to start, like, do the repayments. They didn't. They defaulted, and as guarantor, all of it came back to me, which was very distressing. In time...
so she was a guarantor. So she's saying that if they done it, it would have been good. They didn't do it, and everything came back to her as a guarantor, just so you understand, yeah?
So I produced this thing for them to check. Nothing ever went any further than what I did. It was basically, like you see, it's just a written exercise. Nothing ever came back from it. Just a tick box. And thank God, if you add it all up, it's about £40,000 in total between the guarantor loans and the American Express, which I'll go on to into the next voice note. The guarantor loans, where I am with those now, George Banco and Bamboo, because there was such a big scandal around those guarantor loans at the time, I think those organisations got, done for like irresponsible lending. So I was able to kind of like submit some claims.
Personally, I think guarantor loans are irresponsible lending anyway. Personally, let me know what your thoughts on the comments
and they
below.
closed those two accounts down and also refunded me what I had paid.
So imagine a company getting closed down for irresponsible lending because they're not getting their money back. You get me? And you can just hear. I know a lot of us are trying to grab. There's a lot. I'm overwhelmed, but in my head, I'm like, look, I feel like the safeguarding women and what's actually going on the concluded. We know there's multiple. I'm about to do one about someone that's been cheated out of her house and that she's had to move back to her grand's house. It's crazy. That there, just so you kind of. But this one here is personal because it involves little women, little girls.
Towards those loans. Amigo, unfortunately, I had kind of suffered a bit of depression, and to be honest, I couldn't even open any emails at that point. I couldn't open any letters. I was scared to answer the phone. Like, it was a lot. And so I missed the window to apply, and they'd actually then defaulted the account to a like an agency to collect the money. And they're basically now saying that, because it's already gone to a debt collector, there's nothing we can do about it. You have to pay it, and we can't investigate it anymore. So, and that's the biggest one, which is really...
I feel like that's you know what? I'm not a financial advisor, but we can talk about that in another day, another subject. So make sure you turn on your post notifications. So when I do go live or post content in regards to that, you will know. Do you know what I mean? Because I genuinely believe there's this notion when it comes to finance that they use certain words and certain terms. Like, basically, when you're, for the lack of a better term, financially illiterate, and even if you think you're financially intelligent, you can never know enough. You can never know enough. Yeah, so let's keep it moving.
There was also another loan situation that someone coerced me out of a £10,000 loan. They did pay back £10,000 because of, there's a bit of a story behind that, but they gave me back £10,000, but they left me with like £8,000 worth of interest on that loan. So I've still got those two parts of the loans sitting with me. That's the guarantor loans part. I'll go on to the next one.
Damn, man.
So when it comes to American Express, so I put specifically...
So what I'm going to do is, you can see that I've got 8.5 minute voice note. I'm not going to make you listen to every single bit. I'm going to do deep dives, you get me, into what's going on. Now, obviously, look, it's very important. There was another one. This one here, just so you're aware, man charged with raping woman at Clapham High Street, 2022. This here, guy called, this guy here, Cannon Town, as you can see, ironically, you get me? Brian, he was a part of SPAC Nation. They had to remove him from the website and whatnot. I can do a deep dive into that as well, you get me? But he was part of SPAC Nation, just so you're aware. Now, obviously, look, these are just some legal regarding Pastor Tobi's, his deportation and whatnot. And with Pastor Tobi on here, it's kind of, you see, with his deportation, he says that he was married to this person and not married to that person and whatnot. And this was just some information and just some little context of what Pastor Tobi actually said.
If he provided them with an opportunity to have their own businesses, or an opportunity for them to do whatever they wanted to do, these people would join the church. So that became his strategy.
Now let's talk about Tobi's marriage. Tobi is allegedly married to Lucy Oluwatosin Odetola. The reason we say allegedly is because there is no legal documents to prove that Tobi is legally married to Lucy. Now, Tobi and Lucy do share, allegedly, a son and a daughter together. And there is proof that they did have some sort of ceremony to celebrate a marriage, but it is unknown where this marriage...
So backstory, guys, so you understand, obviously he's going through deportation issues, and obviously if he says that he's married to Lucy, obviously then obviously they want to ask him how is he living his lavish lifestyle. So obviously he's basically married to allegedly Mary. Mary earns 100K a year, etc., etc. That's her sponsor. Just so you kind of understand.
Okay.
Marriage is legally registered, and it possibly can't be in Nigeria because it says Tobi and Lucy have been married since 2011, and everyone knows Tobi entered the UK in 2005 for a short stay where he overstayed, and he's never left the UK since then. So how does that make sense? But with Tobi facing deportation from the UK, he told the judges, allegedly, that his wife financially supports his lifestyle and that he lives with his partner. But his partner is Mary Olubukola Olade. He earns £100,000.
This, you know, when I was looking for the description for this, this is one of the questions I was asking, and it seemed like, are they the same people? Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm just confused. But anyway, let's move.
A year. He said that he spends his time working for the church, for which he is unpaid, and he is entirely supported by Mary, which means Pastor Tobi has 2 wives. Now, for those who don't know, Marie has been going to SPAC Nation for a long time. So all the members know Marie is not Pastor Tobi's wife, which means there is a chance that Tobi allegedly has married Marie in order to get his stay in the United Kingdom. And
Bruh.
Like I said, I ain't gonna really talk about Pastor Tobi. Pastor Tobi will come to you in the next segment. But it's talking about your infrastructure, you get me? And obviously, no disrespect to these 2 young ladies here, but this is one of the ways of getting little girls into doing masterclass, have them joining the church and have them getting groomed. So
3, 2, 1. Hi, I'm Jessica, the CEO of RV Hair UK.
I'm Shay, the CEO of RV Hair UK. Now, this October the 4th, we're going to be having a masterclass in the heart of London.
Now, we might be blunt, we might be tough, we might be strict, but our methods work. What I've noticed with other masterclasses is you're taught the practical skill, but you're often left handicapped because no one's teaching you how to actually monetize off the skill they've taught.
Just so you understand, people sign up for masterclasses. This is how they get the younger generation. This is how they get them to join the SPAC Nation. And it starts like that. And there's multiple other ways of what they do. There's loads of stuff.
Guys, I'm literally fuming. Why has SPAC Nation sent me an email to come to their wealth church? What kind of rubbishness? I am literally fuming. I am not your target audience. Do not message me. Do not add me to your email list when I never even asked to be on there. And I thought, let me just add that bit to it. And let me just finish it off like this. Look. There's the most concerning things is what's going on in the mansions. You get me? Like, there's grooming.
Everything concerning to me personally. Everything.
Like, you can see the caliber of this witch here. You can see.
I'm just gonna take a new mind. Female pastor, you are not bold enough to have at least 10 people that can hear your voice and can give you £100 a week. £100 a week here is...
Imagine being at them houses, the mansions, and getting depressed. Like, you're feeling suicidal. Imagine how many actual people have taken out loans for the church and been scammed. Imagine the men, bro. Man's got Pastor Sam that's currently on bail. This is a fact. There's no allege. This is a fact. He's on bail for putting hands on women. Evidence. You got Pastor Henry. And this is a man. I'm telling you guys. Man don't want to come forward. I'm speaking to a man from his main social media. For me, he's brave to even coming forward to me to
Very
even tell me that, bro. Talking about man wanting man to give oral sex. These are pastors. Pastors. You got little girls talking, coming out, messaging Lils, talking, saying this is what happened, this is what nearly happened to man. You got Telegram groups. And you know why this is out of control? You have thousands of people that's going to be a part of this, and not everyone's involved. Hardly anyone's involved. But there's the leaders, there's dark stuff that happens, and this is spreading awareness. And what I will say, some big advice. See, when this video goes out, I'm going to tell you like this. Do your story times. You do your story times, the whole of the internet is going to react to this, and it's going to change and make a safer place for UK culture. This is reset of the community, not just reset the industry. This is reset of the community.
That part.
Now, apologies to anyone if I have missed out things. There's so much things that had to be done, that needed to be spoken about. But for me, I just felt like everyone speaks about Pastor Tomi, bro. Everyone. There's always a segment about Pastor Tomi. Let's talk about all the people that's in the infrastructure going by. This one here, that one's at the top. That and Samuel's at the top. Funny enough that her page is limited. Go to her page. You can't even comment on it. This one here, you get me? Guys, this one here, listen, get ready for more videos, but that's the video that I'm going to give you lot today. And yeah, man, like I said to you, look, right now I'm going to be going through one of these spiritual attacks. Trust me, man.
You won't, dog. You won't.
I've got La ilaha illallah, Muhammad Rasulullah.
You won't be. You won't be.
And I want you lot to understand.
You won't be. You'll be fine.
I'm not a person that's going to be like, yo, this is what happens in church. Or this is what Christians do. Because I know people that do wrongdoing, they're not no people of God.
Trust me, dog.
You know what I mean? And we have to respect every single religion.
Facts.
Respect Christians.
Facts.
I don't get into no religious war. I'm not involved in all of that.
Facts.
But please, get me, especially in the community, the Nigerian community, whatever. I'm a Jamaican. It's not this don't really, there's not many Jamaicans that are part of SPAC Nation. I'm telling you, our culture is a bit different. So I want you to understand, and I know that the mothers, Nigerian mums and that can't even see their family, they can't even see their sons, they can't even see their daughters because they've run away to the church. They don't even know what's going on. My heart goes out for you, goes out to you, and I will say a prayer. But yeah, guys, that's all. I'm gonna leave it like that, man. But I hope this kind of give you an intake. And the reason why I didn't go crazy, because understand there's gonna be a crazy court battle. There's gonna be a crazy, so you have to kind of tread careful. Yeah. And everything in this video is alleged. It's alleged. You know? But anyway, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Guys, trying to get to 100k subscribers. Will I ask for you to, if you could subscribe, get me to 100k subscribers by the end of this year? Be amazing. But we will always, with clean heart and intentions, keeping safeguarding our community. Just the same thing what we done with Shea Borough. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Peace.
Yeah, man. This was very, very, very interesting. We'll react to some more another time, man. We really will. Let's just I'm not going to read comments because it's going to be too much for me to read comments. I'm just going to I'll put all the victims will get their justice. Do you know what I mean? Okay, why is this this is slow. Oh, you can change the color. All right, cool. All right, so that's my thing. That all the victims will get their justice. In fact, you know what? Let's read comments. Let's read comments. Let's see the recent ones. Are these people under a spell or bewitched? That's another thing. Bouncer tabs. You don't know how deep the rabbit goes. This one, when churches are involved, such acts, there's usually some sort of trafficking ring. You know what? You know what? I'm not gonna read that, but I'm gonna like the comment, but I'm not gonna read it based on what they just said, because I've got to be careful with the words that I'm saying and the words that I'm reading. But yeah, man, it's scary. It's scary to see. But like I said, all victims will get their justice. Do you know what I mean? They'll get justice. Justice will happen. But anyway, like, follow, share for more. He wants 100,000 subscribers by the end of the year. Let me get to 1,000 subscribers by